What is the true secret of a beach-ready body? It's funny, every time you go on TikTok or you'll see like a random ad of like, stop trying to lose weight, do this, or this is ruining your goals. It's like seed oils.
Yes.
They're evil incarnate.
So evil.
You know, like 5-10 years ago, it was gluten. Gluten's evil.
Yep.
There was a time where fat was evil. Fat is your enemy.
Yep.
So there's always like these secret landmines for your health.
Yeah.
And then there's the secrets of what you should be doing. Like, oh, there's this new supplement that we discovered in the Amazon. It just burns the fat off your body.
Yeah, fat just falls off you every day.
Yeah, or like we reconnected with a ancient kind of Chinese medicine.
Yes.
That'll align your chi and cause you to lose 100 pounds overnight.
Yep.
So it's like, what's the secret? You know, which one of these is accurate? None of them. None of them are real. They're all just cheap outs, and they're not actually going to develop you into the kind of person that not only loses weight, but keeps the weight off.
And that's the key.
So here we have to embrace the truth that you already know about, we already know about. It's not glamorous, but we got to do it. We have to acknowledge the truth of the calorie.
Yep. The calorie is a reality.
Yeah. Hey, that rhymed.
That was pretty good.
The calorie reality.
It's a reality.
But yeah, so we're going to help give you some tips, hopefully, that can help you take that truth that we all know and want to avoid and actually embrace change using the reality of the calorie.
This is the Thriving Man Podcast with David and Reese Maxwell. These weekly shows are designed to help you remove the confusion from your life and make real progress with your growth. No matter where you are or where you're going, we're here to help you live a life you can be proud of. So welcome to the Thriving Man Podcast.
Welcome to the Thriving Man Podcast. I'm Reese.
I'm David.
He's my dad, and we are here to help you get out of survival mode and into living a life you're proud of. We believe in the core 4 areas. You need to succeed spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Obviously, today we are dealing with the physical side of things.
Yes, we are.
Which is the ultimate guide to controlling calories.
Yep.
The calorie reality.
Yeah, we like that. We're going to keep using that, the calorie reality.
It rhymes, so
it does.
It's
So
got to be
it's
good.
perfect.
Yeah. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle over the long term requires to really look at calories so you can understand your food and deal with it with knowledge.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're talking mainly today about long-term strategy. A lot of people lose weight in the short term.
Right.
And there's a lot of weird stuff out there you can do to lose weight. But the majority of those people gain it back.
Right.
Why? Because they don't change their lifestyle. They don't change what they're doing. When you understand the calorie, when you understand how it works, you're getting a long-term solution to a problem. And I think in the end, that's what we all want. It's not perfection. It's what can I do that's going to get me there long-term and keep me there.
Calories are a tool for understanding food.
Yeah.
That's really all they are. And if you choose to use this tool and embrace it, you can actually have not only a healthy diet, but a good approach to nutrition that is well-rounded over the long term. If you ignore the calorie and try to do a bunch of secrets, it's not going to last.
Yeah, and it also helps you to where when you understand the food and how it is, you can enjoy food. You don't have to hate food or feel guilty. I've seen people where they're eating something and, I shouldn't be eating this. This is terrible for me. Every time they eat something. And I'm like, that's not fun. You should do it to where, okay, I can still enjoy food, but I can control the food. It doesn't control me.
Yeah. A good way to think about it is that calories are not evil. They're not, seed oils, according to a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Calories are simply a unit of measuring how much energy you get from your food.
Yeah.
How many calories is that? It's not saying how bad is that for you. In fact, sometimes you need calories. Like, Dad, you're going to be doing a 60-mile bike ride and then a 40-mile bike ride and then a 60-mile bike ride the next day.
Yeah.
You're going to need a lot of calories.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot.
You need calorie-dense food in that scenario.
Yeah, and we really need calories for everything. Just for getting up, for breathing, for sleeping, for everything that you do, your body uses energy That's what calories give you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why eating was designed to help us have the energy. I mean, that's part of our design that God gave us. So what we want to do is embrace that and learn to work with it and not fight it or hate it to where you never want to do anything like that.
Yes. And it's very simple math. You ultimately, and we'll talk about this a little later, need to find out about how many calories is your base level.
Yeah.
If I'm staying at the weight that I'm at right now, how many calories does that take?
Yeah.
If you want to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than that number per day,
Yeah.
which we would call a calorie deficit.
Yep.
If you want to gain weight, let's say you're really hitting the gym and you want to gain muscle, you will need a surplus of calories. So if you burn 2,000 calories a day, if you want to lose weight, eat 1,600 calories a day.
Yeah.
If you want to gain weight, eat 2,400 calories a day. If you like your weight and you want to stay there, just stick with 2,000.
Yeah.
The math is not that complicated, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. And we understand in that not every calorie is created equal.
That's true.
100 calories from a Mountain Dew and 100 calories from an apple are two different things.
Yeah.
Yes, they're both calories, but one's going to give you a lot more other stuff like your vitamins, your nutrients, the things you need, the apple. The other is going to taste good in the moment, but you're just going to burn right through it, thus the Mountain Dew. So it doesn't mean you can't ever have some Mountain Dew or whatever. You just want to understand the impact it has on you and what type of calorie it is.
Yeah, I think that's true. Came across a video this week that was talking about that. It said there's almost 3 levels to your nutrition. At the base level is your calories, and that defines your weight. At the next level is your macros, which is protein, fat, and carbohydrates. When you pay attention to those, it affects how you look.
Yeah.
When you get into micronutrition, which is like eating the vegetables, eating the stuff that's got the iron that you need or whatever, vitamin C or whatever, that's when you start getting into how you feel.
Yeah.
So you start out with how much you weigh, you get to how you look, and then you get to how you feel.
Yeah.
Ideally, it'd be good to just tackle all 3 at once.
Yeah, and that's where you want to think about your long-term strategy. What are you doing long-term? And some of these things, as you build them, if you take them one at a time, what happens is what in the beginning is a little harder becomes normal.
Good point.
Then you add on the other, then you add on the other. So you can take them one step at a time to where it becomes normal to you. You don't really even have to think that hard about it because it's part of your lifestyle.
Exactly. And I think that's a great point. Like, if you have done nothing your entire life, just starting with calories will give you huge benefits.
It will.
Just paying attention to the number of calories you eat per day is huge. Now, you're not a slave to it, but you're learning to become aware. And that's really the goal. There's a ton of apps out there that help with this.
Yeah.
We'll mention some at the end of the show, but some of them are free.
Yeah.
And the ones that are paid are like $7 a month. Like, you're not
it's
going to
not
break
much.
the bank. But the real key is you're learning the mentality of paying attention and kind of just being aware of how much you need to spend, kind of like budgeting a little bit.
It is. And I think budgeting is a great way to put it because what you're doing is you're budgeting your calories. You're saying, where do I want to put the calories at? What do I want to eat? And also when you just start to notice, then you realize, oh, this is why I'm overweight.
Yep.
If you drink, just to use as the example, 4 Mountain Dews a day, and as someone who was a former Mountain Dew drinker all the time, when I began to really look at the calories involved in that, you're like, okay, that's a lot. Just a few Mountain Dews is almost a daily requirement of calories. So you start thinking about that. Then you add the sugars in that. And so what it is you just become aware. And just becoming more aware can help you make better choices. You're at the donut shop. I'm going to have a donut. I'm going to get 6 of those. Well, okay, wait a minute, 6 donuts, that's probably over 2,000 calories by itself.
Yep.
So you're like, I'm going to get 1.
Yeah.
Because it's about 400. So there, you're making better decisions already, and you're not doing a whole lot of extra work. You say, well, I want 6 donuts. Okay, then you don't want to lose weight. You actually want to gain weight. And just admit that reality to yourself. What we're saying is if you want long-term health, knowing what calories you're taking in and out can really help you begin to be more aware of just what you eat overall.
Yeah. A lot of times we get to an unhealthy place because we don't pay attention. A lot of the cheaper foods are not good for you.
Yeah,
And that's unfortunate in the US. That's just the truth. A lot of the most cheap foods, like you can go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And for what you would spend for grilled nuggets at Chick-fil-A with a kale salad, you can get like 5 things at McDonald's. It's just
true.
the truth. It's sad. But in that kind of environment, not paying attention is going to send you the wrong direction quickly. We have to be paying attention in order to get to a place where we're like, you know what? I'll go grilled right now or whatever.
And it helps you also because you begin to kind of plan out your eating.
That's true.
Which makes it more intentional. When you're not intentional about your eating, you just eat whatever. You're driving, I'm hungry, let me go to McDonald's. But if you've kind of thought, okay, I'm going somewhere today, I'm going to bring my lunch. You're going to bring something that's normally going to be healthier, cheaper than going and buying something, almost anything. And so there's things you can do to eat healthier that you still like, that still fit within your calories and can save you money even.
Yeah. When it comes to setting the baseline for how many calories you need in a day, how do we do that? How do we get there?
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do. There's formulas you can do based on your height and weight and all this. But a lot of times, again, those apps, if you put in there, I'm this height, I weigh this much, this is what I do, it'll give you a baseline. And the thing you want to understand about that is some people get really nitpicky and they're like, well, what if it's not my actual baseline? Okay, it's close. If it's close and you're keeping tabs of it, that's the most important thing. The thing you want to do is just have a baseline. A lot of people don't. They just kind of eat whatever. When I'm hungry, I eat. But when you think about how many calories you're bringing, you think about your baseline, let's say it's 2,000. A lot of people talk about the 2,000 calorie. And it may be, but it may be a little less. It may be a little more. You also have to look at, what is my life? Do I sit at a desk all day? Do I sit when I get home? If you have a very sedentary life, that's going to affect how many calories you eat. And so you want to be honest about that and not count, well, when I get up from the office chair and go to the bathroom, I'm walking. So I walk a lot during the day. Okay, no, you don't. You sit at a desk all day. Be honest. But if you work at an oil rig, and you're busting at 12 hours a day, hard labor, sweating hard in the middle of the Gulf, okay, you're going to need more calories. That's just a reality. And that's the thing we want to understand with it is everybody's baseline is different, but you want to find what yours is and not try to base it off someone else's.
Yeah. So when we talk about losing weight and we talk about reducing calories, if a lot of guys I would say are going to be in that place where that's their goal.
Yeah.
I think I want us to be able to understand that when you're reducing your calorie intake, it doesn't mean you're trying to make yourself miserable.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite. The reason you're focusing on calories is so that you can choose the foods that you enjoy the most and are not terrible for you.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if you love fried chicken, you're going to have to factor in how many calories fried chicken is, and then you're going to have to work around that and then eat pretty healthy in the other areas so that you can indulge in what you really, really love.
Yeah.
And that's something where like, it's almost like you can see calories as like boundaries. And as long as you stay within the boundaries, you can do pretty well for yourself health-wise.
Yeah, and what you want to do is make smarter choices, but it doesn't mean you have to hate what you eat. A lot of people think, well, I'm dieting, so they're eating a celery stick by itself for every meal. If you love celery, knock it out. But a lot of people don't. I like it cooked in things. I don't want to eat it raw. I don't like it raw. Everybody's got what they like and don't like. Find what you do like fruits and vegetables. Everybody knows I should eat more fruits and vegetables. Which ones do you like? If you don't like apples, don't try to eat apples.
Yeah.
Focus on other fruits.
Yeah, like maybe an orange or a banana or something like that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. And now with the way grocery stores are, there's tons of fruit options, even off season or by frozen fruit. So you can do things that you get the better foods, but find the ones you like, find what you enjoy, make those more of a habit, and you're more likely to eat better food.
Yeah. I think also paying attention to protein. It's pretty wild now that I've been doing a little bit of research. Actually, we both have into what your body needs protein-wise per day. it is astronomical.
It
like
is.
if you look at what the FDA requires you to have, it's nowhere close to what your body actually really needs for maintenance.
Well, and like what we talked about earlier with the macros, I started that journey in the fall. I used an app called Carbon, and we talk about that later, but it's a really good app, and it really got me focused on my macros. And I realized how low my protein count was. And I need like 185 grams a day. So I've started doing that. I've started working on that. And what I've seen is my weight hasn't changed a whole lot since I started. And at first I was like, gosh, but I have this one app that does like a full body scan. And I did it recently, and I've gained like 10 pounds of muscle. My waist has gone down. All of these things are happening because of how I'm eating.
Your body composition is changing.
Yeah, it is. And it's been, you're kind of like, oh. In fact, I went to my closet just recently when I figured that out and tried these pants on I haven't been able to wear for a while because we all have those in our closet, or at least people who are on the bigger side do. And I was like, these fit. These fit again. But my weight hasn't changed that much. I've just gained a lot more muscle because I've increased my protein.
Exactly. And so protein is a big thing to focus on. It also helps with general like muscle and tissue repair. So it's just going to be a good thing to have, not only for how you look, but how you feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Another one that we've recently just discovered is a big deal is fiber.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meta studies out there. What's the guy's name? Lane
Norton.
Yeah, Lane Norton. He is not just a nutritionist, he's a scientist. And so he's been doing a lot of research into those meta studies. Fiber helps a lot, not just with being regular, but it helps with your longevity. It helps with like a lot of foods that are high in fiber are also nutrient dense. And so there's a lot of benefits to focusing on fiber as well. So if let's say you already do your macros, but you want to go to the next level, check the fiber out. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel. Yeah.
And that's what we want to look at is, again, these are long-term things. So when you focus on protein, fiber, eating the fruits and vegetables you like, those help you kind of move in the right direction. And you also want to look at things like, what are you drinking? You know, what kind of calories are you getting from your drinks? If you like a giant Frappuccino every day with the syrup and everything,
it's going to be probably like 300 to 400 calories.
Yeah, that can be pretty high in calories. A lot of the energy drinks are very high in calories. So you want to think about, okay, what am I drinking calorie-wise? And it's not that you can't. You just want to understand that if you're drinking in 400 calories, that goes toward your daily allowance. And you want to think through, is it worth it? Do I need it? Or what are other things I can do instead?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think really the final thing, like as a tip, would be cooking.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. Restaurants don't care about how healthy their food is unless they're specifically branded as a health restaurant. They care about how good it tastes because that's what's going to cause you to walk in the door and pay for it. You're not going to walk in there and pay for something to be like, it tastes like crap, but it's just so good for me. Nobody does that except maybe at like Smoothie King or something. But that's pretty rare. So eating out is not going to help you usually. Like you go to Arby's, you get a big, roast beef sandwich and some fries. That's probably 2/3 of your calories for the day. Yeah. Most likely, if not all of them.
True.
So when you cook for yourself, you can cook the things that you like and you can know what's going in the food and how much you're eating of it. It gives you a lot more control.
It does. It gives you control. One, you're choosing a lot more, and you can control your portions. Most restaurants and eating out, they give you a whole lot more food than you need. And I don't know about you, but I have that tendency, if the food is in front of me, I'm going to try to eat it all. I don't know why, but I just do. So I usually eat more when I eat out. I have to consciously make the decision not to do it. But when I bring my food, one, I usually save a lot of money. But two, it's just better food. Plus, I can pick. This is what I like. This is what I'm going to bring. And that's something you have to look at. What can I do? And what works for me? If your schedule is busy, you can have stuff in the freezer, in the fridge that you can grab and go. There's a lot of recipes out there you can do, and it's real easy to make those choices of what you really like and what fits your goal.
Yeah, I think that's true. The other big sphere of watching your calorie intake is portion control.
It is.
You pointed that out with the going to restaurants, but that's just everywhere.
It is.
You can eat 2,000 calories worth of peanut butter pretty easily.
Yes, you can.
You can just crank through it. So
Yeah.
just because the food isn't bad for you,
Yeah.
even if you eat it in excess,
Yeah.
it's going to end up giving you a calorie surplus, which is not your goal if you're trying to lose weight. So one, this is just a practical one, but use smaller plates and bowls whenever
Yeah.
you're making your own food. What this does for you is you see a full plate, even though it may not be as much as you would see on a big plate. Like if you have a big plate with a small serving,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, man, I'm eating nothing.
Uh-huh.
But if you have a small plate with a small serving, you're like, heck yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'd do that for red beans and rice whenever you make it.
Yep.
I learned a hack for myself. I always love getting seconds
Mm-hmm.
of red beans and rice. So I make like a small bowl of it,
Yep.
not nearly as much as I would normally put in, so that I can go get seconds.
get seconds.
And for my brain, it's like, oh, I'm going to get seconds.
Yeah.
Heck yes. I'm treating myself.
It's true. And last time I bought some bowls, I bought a smaller size bowl, the black bowls I bought, mainly for that reason.
Yeah.
Because giant bowls are good for some things. Like I have some big white bowls I use for salads or a pasta, but you got to be careful with the pasta because you can load it.
That's true.
But something you have to mix, the bigger bowl works well. But I don't use it for things like red beans and rice because I would load it up. And if I put it all in the bowl, I'm going to want to eat it.
Yep.
And so those are hacks you can do if you know yourself. Smaller bowl, you can get seconds, but it's really still one serving, but you just feel better.
Exactly. Another one is measuring out your food. It's a pain in the butt. We get it.
Yeah.
But if you actually want change to happen, you're going to have to actually do it.
Yeah.
Because, for example, when you look at, let's say, fruit,
Yeah.
a lot of times you'll see the calories and the nutritional facts for a half cup of that fruit,
Yeah.
or for 3/4 of a cup of that fruit. And if you just dump the whole bag and just start going to town on it, you're going to eat way more than what that label actually says. So you're not only paying attention to what the calories say, you're paying attention to what the serving size is. Because you can get a bag of chips,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem that big, but it's 4.5 servings.
Yeah.
And each of the 4.5 servings is 180 calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to actually pay attention to the serving size and kind of abide by that.
Yeah. And that's why you don't want to eat straight from a package. If you eat straight from a package, you tend to eat more than you would by itself. And also things like, for me, rice. I like rice. I use it a lot. But a lot of times I'll grab a measuring cup to do my rice because I don't want to overdo it. And it's real easy to put more rice in than you need. And you have to kind of learn what a real serving is per person and what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's true. I'd say the last one would be planning your meals and your snacks ahead of time. You almost never make good decisions in the moment. Like the best kind of self-control is showing control before you need to, before you get to the point of decision. I think one of the best illustrations of this is what you did at that conference we went to last week.
Yeah.
Mention that story.
Yeah, I knew we were going to this conference, and it's one we've done for years. And it's one of those that all you do is sit and eat, pretty much.
I mean, you get a bunch of ministers together. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
We're
going to sit,
there,
eat, and talk.
Eat. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, what can we do? Because both of us are trying to keep our protein high and all this. So I went by the store, and I bought us a 24-pack of sparkling water to give us a good drink. I bought us some of the little shakes. Just a protein shake. So we had it ready, available. We didn't have to mix anything, didn't have to do anything. And what was the other thing?
Protein bars.
Yeah, protein bars.
And there was 3 flavors in the pack you got.
To be like a dessert. So what that did is that helped us, one, if we ate a meal, we got the protein bars back at the hotel, so that'll be our dessert. For breakfast, we have the protein shake, so we're less likely to eat a bunch of garbage for breakfast, which most hotels, they're going to serve you a lot of carb-heavy things. And so it really helped us have the time. And then on the last night, because we had made good choices all week, the last night we did a late night Waffle House run. And there's something about Waffle House late at night.
After 10 p.m., it's just like
just
the quality goes through the roof.
And the guy who cooked it was phenomenal. The bacon was extra crispy. It was just really
magical.
good.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't feel bad about that because we had had good choices all week, so we could enjoy the Waffle House meal. And that's the thing you want to do. When you think ahead, you make the better choices in the long run. And so I think that's something all of us can do with just a little bit of planning. It doesn't have to be a ton, but you can kind of, if you know yourself too, you can kind of have those options for yourself and you're going to make better choices.
Yeah, I agree. And the cool thing is this doesn't mean that you have to turn food into the enemy. You don't have to hate food. You don't have to say, oh, I shouldn't be eating anything.
Yeah.
The ultimate scenario is if I'm just starving myself.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. That's not long term. What you want to do is begin to, well, really one of the best ways to control your calories is really paying attention to what you're eating.
Yes, it is.
And we don't just mean in decisions, we mean in the moment. Like when you're eating a meal, rather than sitting by your TV and watching the show and just eating, that mindless eating often is what creates overindulgence. Like when you have your food that you've prepared, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down and pay attention. Don't have the TV going. Like maybe you're with somebody, you can eat and hang out with them, but you're paying attention and actually enjoying the food.
Yeah.
You're not just cramming it in while you're on the go.
Yeah. And you want to learn to savor the food, to really understand how does this taste? What do I like about it? And you kind of want to become a little pickier to where you don't just eat anything.
Right.
You know, where you get to the point where, okay, I'm out. Everybody's grabbing something at the fast food place. I don't really care for anything at the fast food place. It's not that great. I'll wait till I get home because I know at home I have this, this, and this. And I like those better than anything they have here. See, you've made a conscious decision because you understand that there's a lot better taste, flavor, texture in what you have at home than what you have out. And even when you eat out, you're a little pickier about what you get because you really want to taste it. You want something good. If I'm going to go out and eat, I'm going to eat something good, not just garbage, not just something that's whatever. And I think that's a good thing for us to kind of get a little pickier. I'm not saying you have to become like a French chef, but a lot of French chefs are thin. So, and they eat really good food. So you want to think about that. I would rather wait and eat something really good than just eat whatever.
And recognize when you're doing emotional eating, when you're going to food because you're tired, or you're going to food because you're stressed, or you're going to food because you feel lonely in that moment. Like there are other coping mechanisms that can not contribute to a calorie surplus. Going on a walk with a friend, doing a call with somebody, you going on a walk on your own. Like there's a lot of ways that, or reading a book. There's a lot of coping mechanisms that we can learn outside of food. And I think that'd be healthy for us.
And you can also, like we talked about earlier, plan your day out to where if like, okay, I know tonight we're going to watch a movie or I'm going to binge watch a couple shows of my favorite anime. Well, you plan out your day to where at night I'm going to have popcorn as a snack.
Right.
You know, I understand the fiber and carbs in it and all this other, the calories. So I'm going to make it myself, make my own popcorn, which is better. And then that's my snack tonight. And you can kind of look forward to it so you can actually enjoy it. You can savor it. Oh, this is really good popcorn. I'm enjoying it while I'm watching my show because you've planned for it, you've prepared for it, you're savoring it. Those are good things.
Yeah. We're saying all of this to remind you, you don't have to be miserable.
Yeah.
Like just because now having a calorie deficit mean you will have to say no to yourself if your body's hungry.
Yeah.
Like if you want 2,000 calories, that's what your body's used to, and it gets 1,600, it's going to be kind of mad at you.
Yeah.
Now, eating higher protein in your foods is going to help satiate you.
Yeah, it will.
However, there'll be times where you have to say no to yourself.
Yeah.
You're, hey, man, at 10 p.m. every night I go eat this. You probably will have to stop that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But the whole reason we're doing it for calories is what you're now doing is you are developing an awareness of what you're eating, and you can develop an appreciation for what you're eating.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it. So we have a couple apps we want to recommend to you. One is free. and one is paid. I'll tell you about the free app. That'll tell you about the paid app because he's currently using that one. The free app is MyFitnessPal. You've probably already heard of it. You've probably already used it. It is completely free for the baseline version, which does measure your calories.
It does.
It doesn't do your macros, but if you're just starting out, hey, I want the cheapest thing available, and I just really am worried about the calories right now, it would be the perfect app for you. It's got a lot of meal options that are pre-put in there, so you don't have to input every single thing you eat. But if you want to go to the next level beyond MyFitnessPal, a good option would be.
Yeah, Carbon is one I use. I really like it. It is a subscription model. You can pay yearly or monthly based on your budget. And what you do is you put in there, all your details, height, weight, everything, and what you want to do. Like if you want to lose weight, it gives you a healthy way to lose weight. And it recommends about a pound a week, maybe just over a pound a week. You can change that if you want, but that's what they recommend. And so what they do is they set up your calories, your protein, your carbs, your fats to fit within that framework. You put your food in just like MyFitnessPal. They even have the scanner so you can scan food. If it's not in there, you can put it in there. You can add your own meals. So you can put a whole meal in there. In fact, I have a cookbook that's a macro cookbook that has all the macros of the meal, and that makes it real easy to add those in. So those are things you can do. It's a little higher level than just doing a baseline MyFitnessPal. So it's kind of if you want to go to that next level, but we would say start with just counting your calories if you've never done that. Then you can start moving up as you get better at it, and it becomes more of a habit to you.
And the special thing with Carbon is its algorithm.
Yes.
The way that the algorithm works is it's almost like a fitness coach that watches your goal, how much you want to lose and at what rate. And if you're not meeting that, it will auto adjust the calories and the macros to help you meet that goal.
Yeah.
To me, that's what's so interesting about it and why it's such a next level app is because it'll honestly help you keep track because you're weighing yourself.
And it does both. If you're losing too fast, it'll bump up your calories and your macros. If you're losing too slow, it'll bring it back. And then it has a thing where maintenance, you can do a reverse diet for people who've been dieting so much that it helps them kind of get back to what they figure out their maintenance level is and then go from there. So it does all these things for you. There is a fee to it, but it really is something, if you want to go to the next level, it's an app that I think can help you do that a lot.
Yeah, 1, maybe 2 sessions with a personal trainer will be the same price as the app for a year.
Easily.
So it's not a high cost point.
No, it's not.
But the point is, we want you to move forward with your nutrition in a way that keeps you on that path. We always say it here. Success is inside out, starts within, but it's also on the way. It's on the journey. You never arrive as much as a lot of us would like to arrive. With food, you're always adjusting. You're always learning. Your body will change as you get older, and that's just part of it. And so with that means that your nutrition will have to be flexible. How do you measure that? Calories, macros.
Yeah, and what you want to do, in the end, you're responsible for you. A lot of the things out there that are trying to sell, the secrets and all this, they're just trying to make money off you because they know a lot of people just don't want to do the work. What we're saying is do the work. It becomes easier the more you do it.
It becomes second nature, really.
And it'll be hard up front. That's just the way life is. You just got to suck it up and do it. But it becomes second nature to where you're beginning that health journey to where you're like, okay, I'm living a healthier lifestyle. And that's the one that's more long-term. You'll keep the success, you'll move in the right direction, and you'll go to higher and higher levels of health when you just start. And so what we're saying is it's a better long-term solution. So just start today. Don't wait.
Yeah. And this just popped in my mind, but if you're having trouble reaching your protein amount for the day, because you probably will, the cheapest protein out there that we've recently discovered is by what's called Revolution Nutrition. They always have a sale going on. We'll probably put a link to it so you guys can check it out. But it is less than $1 per serving, which in this economy is pretty much unheard of.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great resource. But we do all this, we tell you all these things and give you these links because this is a journey we are currently walking.
Mm-hmm.
We are on this. We each have different goals in this season, but we're paying attention to what we're eating and we're paying attention to how much we need to do. And you're going to have to do that as well. So join us on the journey. It is totally worth it. Every resource we make here is to help you be a better man. Because when you're a better man, you can help your family, you can help your workplace, and your community. We think that guys taking responsibility and growing in this way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, is the key to what can change our nation and the world. And we want you to be a part of that. So apply these principles, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Thriving Man Podcast. If you want to check out more resources from David and Reese, you can go to thrivingman.com. We'll see you in the next episode.